There was no manual that told me biting my tongue would not keep me free, and that it would bleed almost fatally behind my teeth where nobody could see. No one told me. But you know how they say most lessons you're going to learn regardless. The easy way or the hard way. Well, for some reason, I always preferred my difficulty on high. So stubborn, I needed a consequence to convince me why I shouldn't do that or why I shouldn't say that. But y'all know me. I will shout my think pieces until y'all ears bleed. I'll run my mouth until anyone running in my path starts running from me. There's no consequence big enough to take my freedom of speech, except me. I almost silenced myself so other people would accept me. I bit my tongue so hard for so long that it became normal to bleed. And that instead of what should have been ink, blood turned ink, bubbled in my throat and tried to kill me. Silence tried to kill me. So I learned to use this voice box like it owes me life, to turn the volume up just as loud as every lesson I survived, and to have purpose behind my words, even when they don't rhyme. And rhyming, well, it feels almost mandatory, because that's how I learned it in high school. When I learned that people read poetry for fun, and I wonder maybe will they read mine too? But it had to be perfect and pretty and uniform. Wait, no. Perfect and positive and pleasant. No. Scratch that. Scratch all that. I was speaking in full sentences before I learned how to walk. When I graduated kindergarten, I won the award for most talkative. So I've always been a talker, always had something to say. No matter if it disagreed with my teachers or disrupted my classmates, I spoke. I spoke up. I spoke out. And I always found myself in detention just for running my mouth, but that didn't help. I always found myself in detention just for running my mouth, but that didn't help. Back then, I wasn't in the business of biting my tongue, so detention was just another place for me to flap my gums. So I spoke. I spoke up. I spoke out. It didn't even matter what I was speaking about. In grade school, I could talk all day. Until someone close to me, I heard them say, "You talk too much." She told me to save my words. She acted irritated by every thought of mine she ever heard, and it hurt. And I didn't want to be a burden to her, so I did it. I bit my tongue. And that hurt even worse. So I stopped worrying about her, and I spoke. I spoke up. I spoke out, and I've been speaking ever since. And look at me now, speaking on stages in front of a crowd with a published book, because people want to hear what I want to talk about. Funny how the same mouth they used to muzzle or wanted to muzzle, they give microphones now. Funny how Miss Most Talkative used to be an insult, and now it's a trigger warning. Turns out talking was never the problem. It used to be you talk too much. Now it's you talk so good. I like how that sounds, and I wish I could. It's a blessing for a flaw to turn into a profession. It's a blessing for a flaw to turn into a profession. So the hardest lesson that I learned that I want to teach y'all today, that I learned the hard way, biting my tongue until I bled myself into a shallow grave, is to never stop talking. Don't be forced to be quiet. And most importantly, I would be dead if I was trying to be silent. Hey, y'all. I'm Poetic Justice. I'm going to tell y'all about where I'm from, since I'm the only one here representing Cleveland other than Mama Kym. But I'm the only poet here representing Cleveland, so I'm going to tell y'all a little something about that, then I'm going to get out y'all face. Cool? Look at me and tell me, do I look like where I come from? Can you assume what streets I walk by my shoes? Can you detect defeat in my dance? Because my city has damn sure taught me how to lose, but I'm a win nonetheless. I used to run from my city, and it's starting to be my biggest regret. Last summer, I was so eager to flee from the danger and go back to college. So I said, in my hometown, we see tragedy. Child murder, hopelessness, war between families. Nobody want to work a 9 to 5, so they be scamming me. Making it up out without a record is a fantasy, travesty. The graduation rate's declining rapidly, so I make sure I stay on top so moms can keep her sanity. In high school, trying to be safe becomes a strategy because it ain't a surprise if you walk in and become a casualty. You telling me I need protection to study anatomy? You saying to make it out alive, I got to keep the strap on me? But honestly, I don't mind. I mean, my city is a beast, but at least I can call it mine. I moved to another ghetto and still had to keep a 9, so it's fine. Now I'm back to my beast because I can't leave my 6 brothers behind. And it's true that I can't save them all, but it's only right that I must try. But tell me, do I look like I was raised on streets like Buckeye? Only 2 hours away from being the O-State Buckeye? But to these folks, college seems out of reach. They don't shoot for higher education because that's not a curriculum that these teachers teach. So they think if they graduate high school, then it's work a full-time job or go back to the streets. So if my brothers learn nothing, I hope they follow after me, trace my footsteps across the stage, get that degree. I'm pushing them to beat the odds because to me, my city ain't fair. I mean, the amount of famous natives giving back to my city is rare. Yeah, LeBron built a school and MGK put fireworks in the air, but tell me, what can we do about them young men on St. Clair? The ones who think if they was born in that life, then they got to stay there. The ones who used to play there and now lay there. The ones who speak and we only believe them if they say they swear on they dead niggas because they got dead niggas to swear on. And if you from there, then you know we all do. So now we all desensitized to death, too familiar with dressing up in our Sunday best to lay our loved ones to rest, pouring out liquor for the homies and wearing them on our chest. My city has proven to be a depressing place. Decorated with Don Julio bottles, teddy bears, and balloons on gates, and polluted with hate. On the outside looking in, they call us a mistake because all they know is the trauma we face and fire on our lake. And when it comes to sports teams, them outsiders got nothing good to say. Since LeBron left after the ring, all we see is hate. And this year, I thought the Browns was going to do something great. With everybody locked in, it felt like only fate. Then we would get some bandwagon fans who love the state. But if they brought us pride to the city, it would be worth the wait. And honestly, I want to have pride in my city. But when my little brother was shot 3 years ago, I realized quickly that running from what made me only makes me feel guilty. So now instead of running from bullets and packing up leaving, I actually took a training class to learn how to stop emergency bleeding because I'd rather put my city on my back than be known for fleeing. Honestly, I don't want to have to move away from Cleveland. But it's nothing for me there. It's barely even safe in Cleveland. How can I start a family if it's hard to even date in Cleveland? So I just asked that if y'all hearing this, then y'all bow your head and pray for Cleveland.